If you're a gamer dad, one day you're gonna get the inevitable question, Daddy, can we play Minecraft together? It happened to me over Christmas, my 8-year-old lad, buzzing, eager to learn more about his new game, something Santa bought him on the Nintendo Switch, because Santa, let's be honest, is a tight-fisted git, and it costs $30 instead of $70. And apparently, according to Santa sources, kids still absolutely hammer this thing. Me though, I sighed. Minecraft was never my thing. I always lumped it in with Fortnite, that corner of gaming where YouTubers shout at the screen, the edits come at you every half second, and everything's been flattened out so kids can keep up. It's also not a game I'd ever feature on this channel. Doesn't feel like my vibe, doesn't feel like my audience, and if I'm honest, it doesn't feel like me. So what do you do when your kid asks you to play Minecraft? You say yes, of course you bloody do, because saying no isn't really an option, is it? What I didn't expect was what happened after. So put the kettle on, grab a cuppa, and let's mine a little deeper in today's video. It was a frustrating start to Minecraft, truth be told. I wanted to join my son on PC while he was on his Nintendo Switch 2, sat literally 5 feet away from me, and somehow that meant I had to create him a Microsoft account, link it to his Switch account, add him as a friend, confirm it twice, then pretend I understood why any of that was necessary in the first place. I can't really blame the devs for it, truth be told. This one was on me, but this was my antsy stage, that quiet internal sulk you get when you're being asked to play a game that looks like it could run on my old Nokia phone and still have battery left, when I wanted to just get some content out to you lot on AAA fancy graphic types and call it a day. But eventually I got it all sorted. Accounts got linked, friends got added, the world got created, and just like that, we were in. 2 characters standing there in a blocky nothingness, waiting to be told what to do next, except there wasn't any instruction at all. What do we do, Daddy? He asked. Honestly, son, I ain't got a Scooby-Doo. I guess we just dig stuff and build stuff. Turns out, I was absolutely bang on there. We start digging in this weird, blocky world. Every chunk we pull up drops straight into our inventory, and then the game starts quietly nudging us. Little pop-ups, new recipes, new options. No big tutorial screaming at you, just gentle encouragement. And once we hit wood, that's when it opens up proper Riley Reid style. Suddenly, I'm knocking together a crafting table like I know what I'm doing. Boom. Tools, actual tools, things that make digging quicker, cleaner, less like I'm scraping the ground with my bare hands like a caveman. Now, quick bit of housekeeping on this video so it doesn't look odd. I didn't record his actual playthrough with me, partly because I don't want his name on screen, because no doubt at least one of you is in the Epstein files, and mainly because at the time I had zero intention of turning this into a video. So what you're seeing here is me loading back into Minecraft, into that same world we built together, just recreating bits so the footage matches up with what I'm talking about. So this crafting table here, yes, I built that just now, but the real one, that's inside this absolute state of a building we knocked up by a river. Why there, you ask? Because that decision came off the back of a very eventful first night, and that is where things properly started to change for me. Daddy, why are there zombies here? And why do skeletons come at us? What do we do? Like I had any answers. My instinct, of course, was pure gamer dad brain. Claw the lot of them with my bare hands. I actually took a few down. I felt briefly heroic, expecting my wife to text me a photo of herself in lingerie, thanking me for protecting our son. And then I died. Respawned miles away, in fact, nowhere near my boy, that's for sure, which meant he was left on his own, dealing with the horde. And then I heard it, his scream from 5 feet away on the bed. He died too. Once I finally found him again, he said something that completely shifted the mood of the whole game for me. Daddy, we should build some shelter, maybe make a moat so they can't get to us, and then we can defend it from our base. I mean, he wasn't wrong, was he? And that's when it clicked. Minecraft is exactly that. Not some twitchy reflex test, not a checklist of objectives, just a big creative Lego box where problems exist that you can solve them however you want. So we stopped reacting and started to think a bit more. We talked it through. base near water because that gives us some protection. Trees nearby so that we can chop them without trekking miles. Somewhere we can see what's coming before it gets to us. And that's how we ended up here. This little spot, this mess of a base that you now see. Now, quick warning to any of you gamer dads thinking of playing Minecraft with their kids. You will become their labour force very quickly. You'll be the one mining block after block after block, quietly dumping it all into a chest so that they can get on with the fun bit, the building, the creativity, the warped vision in their heads. And when it doesn't quite look right, you'll be asked to dismantle the whole thing carefully and with their permission obviously, and then rebuild it exactly how they imagined it in their head but couldn't quite explain out loud. I've never felt closer to those poor slaves dragging stones around to build the great big pyramids. No glory or credit, just vibes, sweat, and a child pointing at things saying, "No, move it over there." Then I hear my wife shout out from the other room, "Dinner already?" No bloody chance, because it turns out that me and the little man had been sat there for hours. No phones, no drifting off, just constant chatter between us. What are we building next? Where should it go? What happens if we try this? And a lot of internet searches. Proper teamwork too, us googling stuff together like a pair of clueless explorers, all whilst I'm silently praying that none of my previous search history decides to rear its ugly head when he asks how much wood you need to make a hoe, because that would have been a very different Christmas memory for him. So let me walk you through what we actually built. First up, the main room. He wanted glass so he could look out into the world, fair enough, which meant I immediately got sent off on a full-scale sand farming mission, hoovering up everything in sight like some mug on minimum wage. Then he clocks the river. He tells me he doesn't like the zombies swimming around there, and this is where I make a terrible mistake. I casually suggest we build an underwater glass tunnel just to get to the other side for farming material purposes. What started as a quick idea turned into a full-blown infrastructure project. As you can see, it is very much unfinished. I did try testing a section, but water kept pouring in like it had some personal vendetta against me. I'm fairly sure a sponge is meant to sort that out based on my Google search, as it will suck it all up. And yes, that's what she said. Either way, in true British mismanagement fashion, this project has been delayed indefinitely while we pretend it's part of the plan. And then there's the bedroom, where we quickly realised is basically a lifesaver for us, because once we stopped dying in random fields and started respawning back here in our beds, our morale went up massively. And finally up top we built a little roof and skylight, somewhere we could look, stand and feel like we knew what we were doing. Now in all that time I've been farming like an absolute mug, my little lad tells me he's built an outpost. I'm impressed, obviously, a proud dad moment if you will. Turns out it's about 5 feet away from the main base, with enough room to swing a cat inside. Full marks for effort, 0 marks for tactical awareness, but we can work on that. Still, the fact that my 8-year-old built that out of nothing but digital pixels genuinely got me, because it was his. No guide, no template, no optimization video telling him what is correct. And that's when I had to eat a bit of humble pie, to be honest. I'd had Minecraft completely wrong. This isn't brain rot gaming like YouTubers shouting at the screen led me to believe. It's not just blocky zombies on the back of backpacks and lunchboxes to sell to you poor parents who had no idea what the fuss was about. It's kids thinking creatively, solving problems, trying ideas, failing, fixing them, then trying again. It's quiet, it's thoughtful in its own understated way, and look, it is kind of brilliant. And just when I thought Minecraft had surprised me as much as it possibly could, it had one more moment lined up for me. As we kept digging, this little hole of ours slowly turned into a proper mine. Almost by accident, I carried on heading down, block by block, whilst he stayed up top, absolutely refusing to come down once mobs started spawning in the dark. Can't say I blamed him either. It didn't take long for me to realise torches were my new best friend here. Once I started lighting the place up, the mine started feeling less scary and more atmospheric, proper moody stuff. And every now and then I'd mine something rare, something shiny, and I'd hear him get all excited from the bed. That alone was worth all the graft. Then, as I'm mining away, I hear this noise. a groan. A zombie, I thought. That's a bit odd because we're all the way down here, but whatever. Then the last block drops and light pours through. I step forward and just freeze. Underneath us this whole time was this massive dungeon. And I don't mean a little cave. I mean absolutely huge. The scale of it was genuinely impressive. My lad's mouth drops open. Mine too, if I'm honest. Suddenly, we're looking at mobs everywhere, but also chests, loot, tunnels branching off into pitch black where you easily get lost. It wasn't just a find, it was another commitment entirely for us to tackle. Another huge project on top of the unfinished glass tunnel, on top of everything else that we were working on. I've read somewhere that each world in Minecraft stretches something like 60 million blocks in each direction. 60 million. I had to double check it because it sounded like nonsense, but it's true. And suddenly it all clicks for me. The depth of Minecraft is ridiculous. Different biomes, random dungeons buried beneath you, entire systems just sitting there waiting to be discovered. You don't ever feel like you're completing a level. Genuinely standing there looking down into that chasm, it hit me in a way that Jake Paul himself wasn't expecting. It felt like being a pioneer, like stumbling onto something untouched. That weird mix of excitement and fear, and all of it was sitting right under our feet that whole time. So now me and my boy have this little world that's ours, and when he asked me, "Daddy, can we go play Minecraft?" I don't sigh anymore. I actually get excited. I've played games with him before, of course, don't get me wrong. I've shown him the ropes in Zelda and then kicked his ass in Mario Kart, helped him get his head around Pokemon, but all of that was more passive, me teaching, him copying. It was nice, but it never really felt like we were doing something together. This was different. Minecraft did something to our relationship over Christmas that I genuinely didn't expect. It brought us closer in a way I didn't even realise we were missing. We weren't just playing, we were sharing ideas, talking things through, solving problems together, making decisions, compromising, messing things up and fixing them. So yeah, you know what, if I had to give this game a score, it's a 10. Not because of graphics, not because of mechanics, but because it shows what gaming can be at its absolute best. And the mad thing is, whilst he was learning about blocks, recipes, mobs, and how to get absolutely slapped by zombies at night, I was learning everything about him, how he thinks, how he plays, what excites him, what frustrates him, how his little brain works when he's faced with something new. And that's the bit that got me. That's the bit I'll carry with me until the end of days. Until next time, my lovelies, love to you all. Reggie out.